Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another ProTech video. Today's video is going to be a little different. Um, this is not going to be pertained to any type of StarCraft, any type of video games, none of that stuff. There is something that I want to share with you because of the enormous success that I've had with my overall health. So the last video that I made, I kind of told you guys what was going on with my health, and my health was deteriorating and things just were not going well, right? So I needed to make a change. I needed to do something to just increase the quality of life in its entirety, right? So the problem that I was having, if you didn't watch that video, is that I had the early stages of liver disease, which, is not, you're getting into danger zones there, right? So I more or less had to make a change, right? And I went to the doctor and he put me on a liver detox supplement and vitamin D, told me to make some life changes, don't be awake in the night and sleep in the day and stuff like this. And all of that stuff helped, but it didn't eliminate in its entirety the problem that I was having in the lower right quadrant of my abdomen. I would still get these inflammation feelings and stuff like that, and the doctor basically he couldn't really tell me exactly what was going on, other than my SGPT levels. I believe that's what it's called, right? Yeah, SGPT levels, which has to do with the liver, were high. And so, based off of my blood results, logic would suggest that because I'm having issues with my liver, this is why I'm having this inflammation in my stomach. So, he couldn't exactly pinpoint and tell me exactly what was going on. And so I kind of more or less had to do research on my own. And one of the conclusions that I came to upon doing all of this research is that the way that we are eating food these days is not the way food was meant to be consumed. This ideology of eating 3 meals a day, in my eyes, after doing all this research, and what I firmly believe is that it's just some kind of a scheme from the food industry just to get you to keep buying more and more and more and more food. Now, you and I both know we grew up thinking, okay, breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack is as natural as going to take a shit, right? And I have found that this is not true. Now, in my research of trying to figure out how to fix myself, I came across intermittent fasting. And, I listen to a lot of different people on YouTube, like Dr. Berg, like the innovator of this stuff. Although I don't know if he's the innovator, but I think he was one of the people who, like, one of the icons that really brought it to life. And various other channels that I watched on YouTube that, really I could really relate to, I could understand. And the reason for this is because there was a period of time in my life, and some of you will probably remember this, I would say back in 2013, 2014, where I had gotten up to about 200 pounds, 202 pounds, something like that. And as for my height, that's fucking fat, dude. That's obese as shit, right? But there was this period, for I would say anywhere from 4 to 6 months, where I was subconsciously intermittent fasting. And what was happening is I would wake up and I would eat something, right? I'd eat a breakfast. And normally it wouldn't be very big, but I would eat a breakfast. And then I would work for 18 hours, okay? And as far as I understand, it takes anywhere from 6 to 12 hours to get into a fasted state. And so, and it's different for everybody, of course. So I don't know how long I was in that fasted state, but it was enough to burn a lot of fat, right? So I would eat, and then after about 6 to 12 hours, I would go into this fasted state. And I would be working for like 18 hours. Most of the time, I would be too tired to get in my car and go get food. And a lot of you know this, but I have this problem where if food is in the fucking fridge, I'm gonna go eat it. So that's why I don't go to the grocery store. I end up spending way more money than I ever should. And so I have to discipline myself in not doing that. So when I go get food, I go out and I get it. So the point is that I found myself. Now, again, I was doing this subconsciously. I wasn't doing this like it was like I knew what was going on. It was just happening, right? So I found myself not going and getting food, but instead taking a shower and going to bed. So, and then I would sleep, after working for 18 hours. Oftentimes I would sleep anywhere from 8 to 12 hours. So there I was subconsciously intermittent fasting and I didn't realize it, and I was losing a lot of weight. And at that time, I was trying to figure out what it was, like, because at that time I did some research, like trying to figure out like why am I losing weight, like what's going on. There's like a plethora of reasons why this can happen, right? Um, but at the end of the day, I just went and got a blood test. All my levels were fine. Couldn't figure it out, right? So when I came across intermittent fasting, I kind of just put two and two together and realized that that's what I was doing. And so when I started doing research on this intermittent fasting, I realized that it does work because I've been through that experience before, subconsciously or not. So I've been doing it now at present. I started about the first of the month. And so I've been on it for about 3 weeks, going on 4. And when I started, I weighed 190 pounds. I weighed myself today after I took a shit, after I took a piss, all this crap. I am down from August the 1st to August the 25th, present time. I am down to 176.6. So I want to share this information with people because I firmly believe it. Okay, I firmly believe a lot of the stuff that I'm reading, a lot of the stuff that I'm investigating myself and researching myself, and the reason why I believe this is because of the reactions that I'm getting from my body. So again, I had this liver problem where I was getting this inflammation in the lower right quadrant of my abdomen. That has since gone. Now, what I will say is that if I consume sugar or if I consume a high quantity of carbohydrates, it will come back. So I'm obviously having some kind of reaction to certain types of food. But if I keep those, like if I don't consume sugar at all, unless it's from like fruits or something, but I'm talking about like processed sugars, like fucking Twix bars and like a milkshake from fucking McDonald's or something like that, I do get this problem. So I've been able to figure out what it is, what's causing my problem, right? And so I've since eliminated that out of my diet completely. And I don't have that problem anymore. And I want to share this protocol for eating with my audience because I know for a fact that a lot of you are gamers and a lot of you are probably having body problems. A lot of you will probably want to lose weight and a lot of you can't figure out why. And I'm not a scientist. I don't retain all of the information that I take in, so really what I would recommend is specifically just going over to Dr. Berg's YouTube and just watching his videos on how he breaks it down and how it works, this, that, and the other thing. But the basics of it all is that the reason you're fat is because you are producing too much insulin in your body. And when you go into a fasting state, that insulin level goes to its lowest point, where you are burning fat from that point forward. So this is why you lose weight with intermittent fasting. Now, if you want to get into it, what I will say is that it really just kind of depends on who you are and like what kind of a person you are, right? For me, it was really easy because food has never been something, for me personally, food has never been something that's like important, right? I don't crave it all the time. It's just kind of something that I just have to do, right? But that doesn't mean I don't enjoy it, and I do binge because I enjoy it, etc., etc. But to say that I have cravings for it, not really. So for me, it was a lot easier to get into. For you, if you have problems with cravings and stuff like that, it would be a little harder. But the thing I want people to understand is that when you feel like you're hungry, you're not hungry. That's not what it is. It's called ghrelin. It's when your ghrelin levels spike up, and that's what makes you feel hungry. So if you have that knowledge and you know you're not hungry, in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe sometimes an hour, that feeling of hunger will go away. So what I'm saying is that if you're going to get into intermittent fasting, you really need to push through that. And there are a couple of ways you can do this. Water will sometimes suppress that hunger. A cup of black coffee, no sugar. They say you can do bulletproof, and they say you can do like stevia and stuff like that. But I mean, if you really truly don't want to have any of that type of complication, just drink the fucking shit black. It's not like it tastes terrible. And when you're fasting, food gets a lot tastier in any way, shape, or form. So just drink the black coffee. Green tea is fine. Green tea, no fruit, herbal tea, none of that shit. Green fucking tea. And the only other thing that I consume when I'm intermittent fasting and where I've been able to lose all this weight is apple cider vinegar. It tastes like shit. It's fucking terrible. You aren't going to like it, but let me tell you something. Your body loves it. Drink it. And it also acts as like out of all of those drinks that I listed, that acts as like the best. Now this might be different for everybody, but for me, it acts the best for an appetite suppressant. Okay? And just put like 2 or 3 tablespoons into a cup of water and then just drink it like that, and you'll get that appetite suppressant, and you'll get the health benefits from the fucking apple cider vinegar. And you want to make sure you get raw, unfiltered, fucking organic apple cider vinegar. None of that shit that makes it taste better. None of that shit. Be a man the fuck up, and just do it all raw. Don't try to take shortcuts, this, that, and the other thing. That's not going to benefit you. But so if you're going to get into intermittent fasting, you have to have that understanding that you may feel hungry, but you're not really that hungry. You're really not. Drink some water, cup of black coffee, cup of green tea, apple cider vinegar, that'll go away, okay? That would be my recommendation for people who are trying to get into this. If you can get to a point where you can only drink water, that would be the best. And then have your eating window from, your 8-hour feeding window, whatever you want it. But yeah, I just wanted to share this video with you guys because I have been having, for me personally, I have been having really, really, really amazing things happening to my body. I have way more energy. And for those of you who have been watching my stream for the last month, you can tell that my energy level has definitely gone up. I feel better. I don't feel like garbage all the time. I sleep way better at night. You know, when I exercise, I don't get so what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't get so tired. I don't get so fatigued. And another thing that I've noticed with intermittent fasting is my cognitive abilities and my reaction times have gone the fuck up. I feel smarter. My mind feels clearer when I play StarCraft. When I was on 16.8, I didn't really notice this too much, but when I started OMAD, which is the 1 meal a day, you fast for 23 hours and then you have a 1 hour eating window. When I switched over to OMAD, I noticed that my cognitive abilities went pew. So, for example, a couple days ago or yesterday and the day before, I noticed that when I started my stream and I started playing my games, it felt as if I had just drank a Red Bull, or I had just had a Monster, or, you know, one of those energy drinks that I always drank for like 20 years. And I couldn't figure out why. So I did a little research and I found, specifically from Dr. Berg, that your cognitive abilities increase like a motherfucker when you are OMADing, which is 1 meal a day, which is ultimately what I think you should work up to because I think it's the most beneficial for you. But you know, this is not a video about like how the science works and this, that, and the other thing. This is just more of a video to tell you guys specifically the gains that I've had from intermittent fasting. There's more than enough information on YouTube where you can find, and the internet in general, where you can find how to do it, what to eat, this, that, and the other thing. But I just wanted to share this with you guys to tell you that for me, it has worked like a motherfucking charm. Week 1, I was 190 pounds. Week 2, and when I started, I was doing the 16-8, 16-hour fast, 8-hour feeding window. I was 190 pounds. When I weighed myself the following week, I was 180 pounds. The third week, which is when I switched over to OMAD, I went from 180 pounds to 160 or 176.4 when I weighed myself. And now I'm on to the fourth week, and I'm doing some alterations to my diet, where I'm going to be taking in more calories, but these foods are going to be more whole foods. They're going to be like broccoli, like raw broccoli and raw vegetables and poultry and, you know, just good shit. Just not so much garbage. I did lose weight while eating garbage, but that's just kind of more or less a matter of whether you want to be healthy or you don't, right? So, all in all, with intermittent fasting, I have lost 13.6 pounds. And my overall health has gotten better. It's just amazing, okay? And I recommend it to all of you. You may not be able to do it. You may not be able to get into it. But for those of you who can, you will not regret it. Thanks for watching the video, guys. See you next time.